Well, hello, PS51, and welcome back to DreamYard. As you remember, I interviewed Serena Mermaid. Hey, Serena Mermaid!
Hi, everyone. Hi, PS51.
And she told us about three things that she would need as a mermaid. Serena, can you remind them?
Yes. So the first thing I would need is clean water. The second thing I would need is less boat traffic. The third thing I would need is a place to lay in the sun on land, like a safe place.
A safe place. Well, I think the best way that I can help Serena the mermaid is to create a map so that I understand where she lives and what is the land that's next to her and what is the water. Like, is she swimming in a lake, a pond, an ocean, or a river? Do you know the difference? Well, a pond is the smallest thing of water. It's a small body of water. Lake is even bigger. A river can be even bigger, and the biggest waterway is, or land, or excuse me, the biggest body of water is an ocean. So we're going to create a map. I need everyone, if you can, and Serena, can you do this along with us?
I absolutely can. Got my paper.
Yay, you need a piece of paper and a pencil. Now, Serena will be using a Sharpie or a marker, but don't you use that because in case you make a mistake, it'll be hard to erase it. So, Serena, if you're using that, be so careful before you draw anything, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's start out with a map. I think if she is what area did you say that you live, that the water is? What's the name of the water and what's the name of the nearest land?
Got it. So I live in the Hudson River, right next to the Bronx.
Next to the Bronx, PS51 is next to the Bronx. That
Oh, you might have seen me.
That is so awesome. Oh, I'm so excited to do a map. Maybe we can do a map of all of the boroughs. There are five boroughs that make up New York City, and the Bronx is one of them. Let's see what other boroughs or land is around them, and let's figure out what the water is around them too. So let's start. Everyone, if you have your paper, you're going to turn it vertically, and that's in that position, you see? All right. Yay. And then let's start. We're going to start at the top of our paper because we want enough room to draw all of the different boroughs. And we're going to start with the Bronx, and the Bronx is at the top. So at the top of your paper, you're just going to make a squiggly shape. Now, this shape is going to be, watch how I do it. Look, just anything, look, I'm hardly even looking. Just a little line with a little shape with squiggles. Now, this is going to represent the Bronx. B, Bronx. Let's write in the letter that the Bronx starts with so that we can remember. B. Uh, Serena Mermaid, what letter does the Bronx start with?
The letter B.
Yay! I think you're right. Let me write it in another color. Oh, I think I'm gonna write it in red because my mummy's favorite color is red. So, Bronx. So you can put B in that shape. Now, right underneath the Bronx is another borough, and it's called Queens, and it's bigger than the Bronx. So you're gonna make another squiggly shape that's even bigger than the Bronx. Make it, yes, look at that, just a little squiggly shape. And then Queens. Serena Mermaid, what letter do you think Queen begins with?
The letter Q.
Yay! Q. Let me write it down. And Serena, can you show everyone what you've done so far for your map? Nice. I like how, because you used the marker, but then you knew that it had to be bigger. So you
Yes.
made B should be bigger than Q.
Yes,
B
Mr.
can't
Wizard,
be
you were
bigger.
right about using that marker. It's hard to erase.
Exactly. But you did a fine job. All
Thank
right, let's
you.
go on to our next borough. we're going to draw the other borough that makes up New York City, and that borough is called Manhattan. So you're going to make another squiggly line, but guess what? This squiggly shape is going to be long and thin, like this. Look, long and thin because Manhattan is smaller than the Bronx and the Queens. So we're learning about different sizes. So we're going to put a M for Manhattan because Manhattan starts with an M. So just put the letter N, M. And now just do a checklist. Q should be your biggest shape. M should be your smallest shape. And B should be medium. So if Goldilocks was visiting, which one do you think she would go to? I think she'd go to the Bronx because Queens would be too big for her, Manhattan would be too small for her, and the Bronx would be just right. Okay, but we have two more boroughs to draw. So attached to the Q shape, which is for Queens, we're going to draw another shape. Now remember, attach it. You see how these shapes are separate? This one we want to attach, and I think the size should be bigger, I mean, smaller than Q, but bigger than B. And this borough is called Brooklyn. Uh, I'm a little confused, Serena Mermaid. We have two boroughs that begin with a b sound. How can I show that this one is the Bronx and this one is b Brooklyn because they both have the b sound?
I would say maybe add another letter,
Oh,
like two letters for
okay.
each.
Let's do that. Well, guess what? Bronx has an R in it, Bronx, and so does Brooklyn.
So
So, mhm.
maybe the X.
Bronx, yes. Great. So everyone, please add an X to the top shape, the very first shape that we did. That way we don't get confused with the Bronx and Brooklyn because they both have that B sound. Oh, let me change my M because that looked like a W or a weird letter. What about if I do that? Then it looks like an M. Okay, let's count how many boroughs we've done so far. We've done the Bronx, that's one. Thank you for holding it up so they can. Oh, yes, that's good, Serena. We've got the Queens, which is two. Three is the Bronx, and four is Manhattan. How many boroughs are there in New York City, Serena Mermaid?
Believe it's 5.
Five. I think you're right. I should know that if I'm running for president. It is. And the other borough is called Staten Island. Staten Island is very big. So let's make a big shape. But guess what? It's still not as big as Queens, but it's almost as big. So can you make another shape right below or on the side? It's below and on the side of Brooklyn. So watch this. And it's going to be a little smaller than Q, than Queens. So I'll just do. Oh, that marker doesn't show up. And Staten Island. What's the letter? That's a tricky one. What's the letter for Staten Island?
I know because my name also starts with it's an S.
It's an S. Of course, it's an S. Thank you.
Staten Island and Serena.
It's the same letter. Excellent. All right. As we're going to do what water is around these areas. But before we do that, let's just make sure that we understand what the names of these places are. This is the Bronx. This is where most of us live. And right next to the Bronx is Queens. That's another borough in New York City. And then on the side of that is Manhattan. Below that is Brooklyn, and we also have Staten Island. Now we want to find out which water, because Serena Mermaid doesn't live on the land, she lives in the water. So she says she lives in what river?
The Hudson River.
So we just need to know where the Hudson River is. The Hudson River is right up here and it travels along Manhattan. So I'm just going to draw. You don't even have to write Hudson River, but think about it. What letter does Hudson begin with? What you think, Serena?
An H.
H. Great. But we're just going to draw H. Let me draw it so you can see. So make the letter H for Hudson, and then just draw some wavy lines to represent the water. And that's our map, boys and girls. We've created a map and we can show, oh, wow, Serena Mermaid. Oh, it's disappearing. There it goes. Yay! I love your map. And now I can see where Serena Mermaid lives. And so can you. We know that she lives in the Bronx and she lives, well, doesn't live in the Bronx. She lives in the water that's next to the Bronx. And the water is called the Hudson River. And when she comes on land to sunbathe, she does it in the Bronx. I love it. Thank you for participating in this interview. I hope that you will vote for me.
Yes.
Well, I hope so. Before we say goodbye to everyone at PS51, can you leave with some words and tell us again what's something that everyone could do to help save mermaids or to help make the life of mermaids better and mer creatures, mermen?
True, more creatures. I would say that one of the things that everyone can do, and the kids at PS51, they can help to put litter, garbage, trash in the trash can. That way, the water stays clean.
Wow. I can do that. Can you do that? I'm sure you can. Well, thank you for showing us how that we can be helpful to not just you, but the whole environment and our community. Great. Well, bye everyone. Bye for now, PS51. Bye, Serena Mermaid.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.